Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blogs today. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It was like you could hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, first story of today, we're going to be talking about Aoki Lee Simmons and what was probably the shortest lived relationship that this poor child has had with 65-year-old millionaire and restaurateur Vittorio Asaf. Ass on. Anyway, yeah, you guys, she took the internet by storm the other day when she decided to post a vacation, a 2-week vacation that she was having with her, what she was calling her boyfriend. Before the world found out who the boyfriend was, and yes, there was a, 44-year age gap between these two. You know how we feel about that, worms. Okay, worms. 'Cause really, but you know, we've seen these kind of things happening. If it's not a man going after a younger woman, then it is the older woman going after a younger man. It's been happening a lot. People do it, and I have a problem with it, whether it is a man, older man, and a younger woman, or vice versa. Now, let me just add in here, because I never remember to add this part. I don't give a damn when a person is in their 30s and they dating somebody older, whether it's a man or a woman. I mean, that's never been my thing, but I feel like once you are an established adult, then, you know, you do whatever you want to do. You want to be with this older man, this older woman, that's fine. My issue is when it is clearly, the age difference is clearly, you guys have a problem with me calling it predatory, so I won't call it predatory, okay? But when you have a child, 21 years old still, when it comes to a relationship with an older person, is young, okay? That is still considered a child to me. And I don't even know why a 65 fucking year old man would have what they would. I mean, we know what they like in such a young girl. However, you just can't even understand, like, what is it that you have in common with these people? You feel like maybe they don't even care about what they have in common. It's just the things that they want. You have this pretty person on your arm, you know, young, spry, full of life, you know. We know that Vittorio was once married for 20 years to a then model, his wife. What was her name, child? I put it in these notes. And where are my glasses, child? Did I not? I got my glasses. And him. He was married to Charlotte Bonnstrom for 20 years. They had 2 kids together, and then it, you know, came the time where he had to trade his model in for a younger one. And so now he got with Aoki Lee Simmons, 21 years old, you know, Harvard. I think she's Harvard graduated now, and you know, I'm sure smart girl and all of that, but 65 and 21 years old, I mean, just what do you guys do other than fuck? All right, and just, I mean, I guess if that's what you want to do, fine, but so anyway, she was on social media because, you know, this young generation, they love to live their life through social media, child. And she was letting the people know about, you know, her boyfriend told her to pack up a bag, you know, don't worry about too much stuff, just pack up something real quick, and then he gonna buy her whatever else she needed when they get where they're going. And 2 weeks, she said she loves it there. She showed us the video of the place that they were staying. I'm not sure if that was his place or what, but where they were staying, and you know how happy, she's the happiest of happy right now. And yeah, blasted it. You know, when you from this new generation and you put it on social media, you know, when you are dealing with somebody from an older generation, they don't really understand that. Yes, we can get all dolled up and we can go to the swankiest New York City parties, and you know, you can be with me and you can be on my arm and everything, but when you start letting the folks know exactly where we are, what we doing and all that, yeah, then it's time to pull the plug on it. And that's exactly what Vittorio did. Okay. So although I don't know who was the person that got rid of this relationship so quickly, I would be willing to bet that once he was caught up in this huge storm of everybody, trying to figure out what was the hills was going on when we saw the video of her kissing him, I'm willing to bet that he probably was like, baby, this, we gonna have to, maybe they not stopping seeing each other, but as far as we are concerned, they ain't seeing each other no more. When you look at this and the history of the Simmons family, you just know maybe the apple doesn't fall that far from a tree. I mean, we do know that Aoki Lee Simmons got with Russell Simmons when she was 17 years old. He was 35 years old. And back then people didn't, first of all, you didn't even get to see stuff back then like you do now. Social media is a place now that you can't really get away with a lot of stuff like you used to be able to. You heard about it, but you didn't see these celebrities all the time, or anything. But I do remember when I saw Aoki Lee Simmons and Russell Simmons when I had taken my my bridesmaids out before I got married, because I got married in 98, and I think Aoki Lee Simmons and Russell Simmons got married in 98 as well. But I remember seeing them at the Norm Nixon and Debbie Allen's restaurant. I don't even know if they still have their restaurant, but I remember seeing them there, and it was real awkward because she looked like a child. Okay, she was extremely tall, much taller than him, and he even looked like an old man back then, but it was just, that's what it was. But much like how her parents became, okay, maybe Aoki will follow in those same footsteps. Aoki Lee Simmons, probably knowing what she knows now, I don't think she would have probably did anything differently, but she probably understands that, in that relationship, it was highly inappropriate, highly inappropriate, and probably something she wouldn't want for her daughter. Probably the things that she went through and the things that she's seen as this powerful music mogul's wife, but much, much younger, much more green, not necessarily having the experience, and then having to be the wife and all. So I'm sure that Aoki Lee Simmons probably wouldn't want her child to be in that same situation. Okay, hindsight is always 20/20, but did you see the video that Aoki Lee Simmons had posted? It was just a video of a huge panda, like a mama panda, and she was wrangling in her baby panda. She had the baby by the neck, and she was pulling it over to, like, I'm assuming, like, where they were staying. And the baby, as soon as the mom let go of the baby just took off running and jumped off the platform and ran off into the woods again. And, the mama panda just looking at the camera like, what the fuck? And then Aoki Lee Simmons had put as her caption, "On my last nerves right now." Okay? Because she probably has been telling that girl, like, but what can you do? You have a child that is going to do what they want to do. I mean, anybody that has a young adult child, our pain, okay? Or not necessarily our pain. Our kids have to grow up, and at some point you just got to let them go, And so I'm sure that's where Kimura is. As far as Russell is saying, he says that he is not going to chastise his daughter. He is just going to lead with love, give advice. I was like, I bet you are, Mr. I got with my wife when she was 17 and I was 35 years old, Simmons. These are rich people problems, but at the end of the day, you got this young girl with this older man, and looks like he's pulled the plug on it because, just too much fucking attention. And maybe she was just excited. I don't know, but yeah. So like I said, he has pulled the plug. He has a very popular restaurant in New York City called Serafina, I believe it's called. Serafina, child, my glasses. Serafina, that's the name of the place. I'm sure, this probably brought a lot of attention to his restaurant, maybe attention that he didn't need. But what do they say? When you're in business, and no news is bad news. I mean, when it comes to making some money, folks gonna come just to be looky-loos and all that. So, I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, I was just like, child, this picture of her kissing him, but she really did seem happy. We're saying that she was with him for the money. I was like, in this case, it might not be the money. I mean, I believe that the Simmons family still has money, even though Russell Simmons is not here and all that. You know, there's a lot of drama that is going on in that family. However, I believe that there is still money. I mean, to the point that she can still get the things that she wants. So Vittorio is not going to provide anything that she hasn't already gotten as far as finances is concerned, you know. So it just might be something else. It may just be, you know, I mean, daddy issues, child daddy issues. But I can't get too involved in it. I was just like, sis, I hope you got your heart guard. If you got a dog or a cat, you know exactly what that is, child. Next story. All right, you guys. So this segment we will lovingly call The Girls Are Fighting. Okay, first let's talk about JT and Young Money. Young Money. Well, I always want to call that girl Young Money, Young Miami. Caresha and what's her name? Jatavia? I believe that's their names. Don't quote me. I know. I'm just going off memory, you guys. Yesterday on social media, I had logged on to Instagram and saw that they were going back and forth on Twitter. Well, it was coming up on Instagram because I am very rarely on Twitter. I know I need to pay more attention to my Twitter. But I could see them going back and forth. And my heart, I was just sad for them. You guys know, because my girlfriends are important to me. My friends, my close friends are important to me. And I hate to see when it looks like something that was a real friendship gets pulled apart and then done under the eyes of millions that are watching on social media. Okay. Now, we know that the city girls, you know, they've had their past. You know, JT was in jail for however long that she was. And while she was away, you know, Caresha did hold it down for her, you know, and still performed as city girls, even though the S of the city girls was in jail, you know. And so I think that means something. It's obvious that these girls have love for each other, not just because it's a business, but also because it's a friendship, right? And like any other relationship, friendships go through shit. So I'm not upset that they're having disagreement and all that. I just hate to see this kind of shit on social media. It's just like, why you bringing us in the fucking group chat? Because really none of us can do anything. And really all you're doing is bringing more attention to something. People are going to lock this away in their memory. And then they're going to pull it out whenever some shit go wrong. They're going to be like, remember when JT said this? Remember when Caresha said that? It's just like, get off of social media. I really wish that the young people today would handle those type of affairs off of the, you know, outside of social media. Because why are you doing this? You are only digging a hole for yourself. You might not have to fall in that hole right now, but trust me, later on, when some other shit is going down, people gonna pull it out and you gonna fall in it, okay? So it's just like, why are you going through this? Now, I had to look through the comments because I was like, is this for real? Like, are they playing? Are they really like going back and forth? I don't think it was that serious. But you know, like, I know fans can turn something that might even be for play. They can turn that shit real serious because everybody starts to weigh in. Okay, the peanut gallery. I went into the comments because I was just trying to see what exactly was going on here. Y'all know I'm old. Shit, I can't keep up with the kids, all right? I'm itsrox. Okay, I'm just trying to let y'all know what the folks is doing. So I go into the comments and people start bringing up you know, the fact that JT didn't support Caresha when she was going, you know, not when, but while she's going through this shit with Puffy. 6 degrees of separation. Everything is tied to fucking Puffy these days. But, you know, people were saying she didn't support her when she was going through that. And so when JT has whatever issues that she has with other people, and if Caresha don't chime in, you know, they're like, why should one do one for the other when the other one ain't doing that? Now, I've always felt like JT didn't necessarily like the relationship that Caresha had with Puffy. It's never been anything that she said, but I've always noticed that I saw them like all together maybe once, okay? And that was when they were supposedly filming, I think, the commercial when Caresha was going to be like the spokesperson or doing a commercial for one of Diddy's alcohols or something. And I think that was also her birthday, and they was on like his private island, and I remember seeing JT there as well. But other than that, I never really saw her around them, and I kind of had that feeling like, you know how it is, sometimes you don't like your girl's man, all right? And so it's just like, girl, you gonna be with that nigga. I can't be around y'all when you know, because I don't really like them like that, you know? So that was the feeling that I got, and I also got that in reverse with Caresha not necessarily liking JT's boyfriend, okay? What the boy, the little strange boy with the diamond in his head that went bad and he had to take it out. You know, the one who got the song that I really, really like. I can't think of his name. I keep on wanting to say Little Yachty, and I know that's not it. Lil Uzi. I always had a feeling, it just felt like Caresha didn't really feel him either. But, you know, they never really said anything like that. It just was a feeling that I had. I could really be completely off about this. And if I am, you guys are welcome to let me know. Again, I'm old and shit, so I'm just going by the comments. But I just wish that if you are going to have issues with your friends, that's fine. That's completely normal. But can you just get off the social media? You just don't have the people in it. And then they, you know, JT said she was going to say whatever she had to say. And, you know, that Santana didn't need to be in it, and then he got in and was just like, you know, you ain't got to bring me in it. I ain't got to have nothing to do with you guys in this conversation. I mean, you could tell that they are friends, you know, off of behind all of the bullshit of the entertainment industry and everything. You can tell that these three are friends. Maybe Caresha and Santana closer than JT would be with him. But what I'm saying is all this just needs to not be on social media. Okay, this is just another time where I got to put on my auntie chops and just tell the young folks to just handle it off of social media, because it's going to blow up in your face. It's going to blow up in your face eventually. But I did hate to see that, because I like to see when women, you know, when they real friends, you know, and it's just too bad. It's just too bad. But so y'all let me know if I'm on track about this. You know, like I said, I gathered all this information just from what I've remembered from the past, and also just trying to read in the comments of what people were saying about it. But I was just like, I hope they, you know, get it together. Yeah, they might break up. You know, groups don't last. And everybody, you know, once one gets hot, or maybe both of them get hot separate of each other, you know, everybody should grow and go on their own and, you know, spread their horizons and all of that. So I'm not saying that they need to be trying to stay together and all that. I'm just saying handle it off internet. That's all. Next story. All right, then second part of this Girls Are Fighting is Meek Mill and Wale, child. I was just like, Meek Mill, child. We've been seeing his name. And first of all, do he still make music? Like, does he have albums? I don't hear no music from Meek Mill no more. You know, I know he was, once he got out of jail, he was kind of on his philanthropic, well, that's not maybe the best word, but he was trying to, you know, be like the spokesperson and starting organizations and working with people that were dealing with people that were wrongly in jail or unjustly sentenced for these ridiculous sentences and all that. I know he was doing that kind of work. But in the meantime, it just seems like Meek Mill stays in the news for all the wrong reasons, child. And I won't get into what they saying about Meek Mill, but just think about what Puffy said, or, well, what Lil Rod said about Puffy in those court documents. Of course, it's all hearsay and nobody is saying it's true, but you know, it just still be like, oh. So now apparently, so the latest kerfluffle with Meek Mill is he woke up on Monday and he saw a picture of, excuse me, and I'm gonna need my glasses. He saw a picture of Wale taking a picture. He saw a picture of Wale and Dean Stay Ready. All right, now I don't know who Mr. Stay Ready is, but I assume that he is somebody out there in Philadelphia that Meek Mill don't fuck with, okay? And the fact that Wale took this picture fully knowing that Meek Mill and Mr. Stay Ready don't fuck with each other, you know, Meek Mill took that as some sort of personal attack on him. So listen, people gonna be friends with who they gonna be with, but you gotta understand that while there are a lot of rappers who, you know, lied about that life, you know, act like they came from the streets when really they didn't, you know, but make a profit off of it because it's just another form of entertainment, you know, rapping. There are some rappers out there who was really out there in them streets. Okay. I think we can agree that Meek Mill probably is one of those rappers who was really out there in them streets back in the day. All right. And so I'm sure he probably has enemies just like a lot of other people out there, that he don't fuck with. And, but what I can't understand is how you expect, you know, another grown person to have like blind allegiance to you and not be friends who they want to be friends with. I mean, if Wale, and it's just a picture, okay? Of course, there might be a whole bunch of other politics behind all this shit, but Meek Mill had a problem with him taking a picture, and, you know, he was just like, you know, if I'd have when I saw you last time, if I'd have knew you took this picture, you know, I would have stretched you. I was like, wrong words. wrong words, y'all. What do stretched mean? I mean, I guess that means, I would assume in fighting terms, that means like I would have stretched the nigga out, like I would have beat his ass till he was stretched out on the floor or on the gurney or something, right? But still. And again, this is all just what I assume because, baby, I don't know. I'm just assuming. I'm just putting shit together. But I was just like, me, I just need you to, you know, if the man took a picture with him, you know, that don't necessarily mean anything. But I guess in street terms, it does. All right. And I'm not from the streets. I'm not of the streets. I'm familiar with them. I'm street adjacent just because I grew up in the neighborhood and I saw a lot of this kind of shit happening. But not to this extent, obviously, because we didn't have the internet. But, you know, you would hear about people doing certain things. This person don't fuck with him. And now, you know, he with somebody else or got his girl and all that. You know, it's hood politics and all that. But I was just like, Meek, all right, Meek. But yeah, Meek was upset. And apparently he was just like, you know, Wale, he's a fucked up person. You know, he don't fuck with him like that. You know, he's done and all this. Now, when I was doing a little research on Wale and Meek Mill, apparently they do have a love-hate relationship. And they do go back and forth going through this kind of shit a lot. Now, Meek Mill said that he took this picture because he was probably scared to say no to Mr. Stay Ready. I said, now, who is this Mr. Stay Ready? He sure was upset. Okay, he sure was upset. But this is what Wale responded. He said, when you get in other people's unserious drama in this industry, 90% of the time they be back friends eventually. And then you look silly in the end. So I love minding my business. If a photo can create such vitriol, one has to ask himself some questions. Happy Monday. Okay, because that happened yesterday. And I was like, well, that was quite eloquent. And Wale did have a point. You know, you'll hear about people fighting and been back friends and fighting and back friends and all of that. My biggest point to this whole story is why we gotta know. Okay, because Meek Mill was pissed. Obviously, he wanted the people on the streets, you know, whoever is important, you know, to this story to know how he felt. And what better way to put that than to put that shit on Twitter? You know, they gonna run with it. But it was just sort of like Meek. I just wonder what the OGs think about, you know, like what happened to the old way. We can't get to I can't believe I'm saying we need to get the fisticuffs. I mean, we don't need to get to that either. But it's just sort of like this whole social media crying, like, again, like I told JT and Caresha, like, what we supposed to do with this? Like, how we all supposed to help you, you know, in your quest of understanding why Wale took this picture with Mr. Reddy? Okay, why we in it? Take us out the fucking group chat. Now, with all that being said, I must remind you all that Joe, one time was at LA Fitness. I think I've told you guys the story before, but one time Joe was at LA Fitness and he ended up in a pickup ball game with Wale. And I won't give you the particulars on what Joe said, but in short, just to wrap it up for you guys, Joe was like, something wrong with him. And this was years ago. Like, Joe probably was in high school. And he was just like, he is, something ain't right. That he is something else, you know. So I'm going to just leave it at that. Okay, I'm going to just let y'all know. But again, I just want everybody to handle their problems off of social media. That is not how they handle things these days. I am aware. But Seems like it would just be so much easier if you got the hell off the internet. Next story. Lastly, you guys, I saw a lot of people talking about LeBron James, his son, who plays at USC. Him entering the draft and also putting his name in the portal, whatever the portal is, you know. People had a lot of opinion about whether or not Bronny was ready to be entered into the NBA draft. So although I know much more about basketball than I do about football, I will admit that I don't watch basketball like I used to. You know, I'm of the Kobe and them days, you know, so all these new kids I don't really know about, and especially not really basketball. Side note, shout out to Don Staley and the girls in South Carolina. I'm talking about just a class act, just a fantastic performance. Didn't even look like anybody was really nervous. I just was like, girl, yes. So I'm very, very proud of Don. I mean, to have a 2-year run with just one game loss, okay, this past season, undefeated, like, really? Okay, and she's so humble, but she is like, take care of business. You can tell she don't play, but still humble, still just the right kind of person. Like, I just love Don Staley. So it was great to see that them win. I wanted it for her. Yes, girl can play from Iowa. That girl can play. Okay. But I just loved the fact that they won this game, and yes, it was great. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, people wanted to know if LeBron James' son was ready to go into the NBA draft. So I reached out to my brother Brian, because Brian is very much into sports. And so we had a conversation this morning, and I'm just going to read it to you because this is how it went. I said, Brian, so I'm going to need your opinion on this whole Bronny going to the NBA. You know, he entered his name into the draft. Do you think he's ready? And my brother said, hold on, I got my papers all mixed up. He said he's definitely not ready, but he kept his options open. He not only announced entering the draft, but he also entered the portal, which allows you to leave your current school and attend another. He said, my feeling is he's going to leave USC and go to another school. Now, if an NBA team shows legitimate interest in drafting him, he could go to the NBA, but he doubts that will happen. And I said, so nobody's going to pick him up even if he's LeBron's kid? I said, was he doing this just to leave SC? And he said, just because he's LeBron's kid, I mean, nobody's going to pick him up if he can't play. He thinks that maybe Bronny is considering going to another school, you know, so that's the reason why he did this. I said, well, why would LeBron okay his son entering into the draft if he knows that his son is not ready? You know, my brother was just like, he's not even a starter at USC. So he obviously is not ready to play at NBA level. Okay, because even the best college player at NBA level is going to have some challenges playing against professional basketball players, you know. So, I mean, I understood that. And he says, well, I mean, he's a grown man at this point. If LeBron's son wants to enter into the draft, you know, LeBron can't stop him. And I was like, I know he can't stop him, but you can't tell me that LeBron is not directing this boy, you know, especially as LeBron being this perfect, quote unquote, okay, but you know, this NBA player, all around all-star, legendary, all of this, you know, you can't tell me that LeBron is just letting Bronny just make decisions on his own. So I know it has to be a calculated reason for the reason that they're doing this. And so my brother said, I think he's just weighing all of his options. He said, I don't think he really is trying to go to the NBA. He wants to go to another school. And I said, well, why can't you just go to another school? Say, I'm not, especially as LeBron, you know, as LeBron's son. I said, is there a process? And he says, well, yeah, there is a process. He said, before, when you didn't want to go to, you know, a school that you committed to. So if he wanted to drop out of USC, not drop out, but go to a different school, maybe because he can get more playing time at a different school. This is also what happened with Cam Newton. Not exactly, but something similar. I can remember Cam having some problems at Florida and ended up going to a small black college and then came back as a big time NFL player. You know, listen to me, I'm a professional. It's these glasses, y'all. My brother tells me that in the past you had to sit a year out. Okay, and he was like, that wasn't fair, you know, because why people got to sit a year out just because, you know, they losing time. That's when you be hearing about these damn seniors being 26 and fucking still playing in college, you know, because of them kind of things. So he was just like, it wasn't fair. So now they don't have to sit out a season a year anymore, a season, I guess. And so, you know, he just thinks that he's trying to move around. Maybe the NBA will pick him up. Maybe he'll go to like a G League. You know, that's where you kind of groom, like, you know, players that are okay, but not necessarily ready for NBA, like the A League, the main league. You know, maybe he'll get drafted that way and all that. So that is the conversation that I had with my brother, and then after that I got him up to date on the Puffy and the Wendy Williams situation. Listen, me and my brother, we you know, we take care of each other that way. You know, I keep him up on the entertainment end, he helps me out on the sports end. Okay, shout out to Brian, thank you for that. But yeah, so that's what he say. But you guys will have to let me know what you think. Again, I don't watch college basketball. I definitely don't watch men's college basketball. You know, the women's college basketball to me seems a little bit more exciting for whatever reason. Way more competitive, and there's a lot going on in women's basketball. But you guys will have to let me know if you have different opinions or if you feel, you know, however you feel about it. So that's it, and that's all, you guys. I got to get on off of here. I'm on my lunch break. I got to get back to work. I am doing so well with these shortened videos. And listen, well, you know, I can do this now. Let me just housekeeping real quick, okay? The reason why we are doing shorter videos now is because I am back at work. Okay, I am back in the office physically. I'm there Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and unfortunately, so those days fall on the days that I normally would do videos for my channel. So I cannot, when I was working from home, I had more time. I could actually stretch a lunch break and all that, and I could be out here and talking to you guys. I can't do that when I'm physically in the office. They are expecting me to be in my seat at a certain time. So what I need everybody to understand, because I was seeing a lot of people were saying, I don't like these shortened videos. It seems more rushed. And I was like, it's not more rushed. I've broken up Top of the Blogs into, now you get 3 Top of the Blogs a week. So instead of you getting all of the information, at the end of the week, now it's kind of broken up within the week. The reason why it seems like it might be rushed is because I am trying to make sure that I cut out a lot of dead space. And I'm trying to make sure that whatever I'm talking about, like I have a script again, and I wasn't doing scripts anymore, but now I'm writing out exactly what I'm planning on saying here. Okay, you guys could take this and pretty much know exactly what I just said. It's going to be on these papers. And before I wasn't doing that. And if you guys would go back at my old videos, you would see how I edited. I used to edit out a lot of dead space. But when I started working from home, I stopped editing that out. Maybe from laziness, because it is a lot of cutting. But now that I'm back at work, like I gotta streamline things. And, I am still giving you guys the content. I'm still giving you the subjects. It's just broken up, And also, if I'm just going to keep it real with you guys were not watching my full hour-long videos and my 45-minute videos, okay? You guys will watch the first half of Top of the Blogs pretty much all the way through. And then you guys might watch the second part eventually. Part of that might have to do with the fact that I wouldn't get it up immediately sometimes. But you guys might watch the second part eventually, and then you wouldn't even watch the whole thing. It was like, it's too much fucking Roxanne, and I get it. Because I ain't watching no fucking video for 2 hours. I'm not. Okay? So, I understood that. But there's a lot of people that were like, not watching, and I can see it on my analytics. Even if you guys tell me you watch the whole video, somebody ain't watching it. Somebody is not telling the truth. Okay, so I can't keep making these long videos if people aren't watching it. It's like, it's counterproductive to me and my money. All right, and at the end of the day, y'all know I'm a Capricorn bitch. I needs my money. I'm working, and I don't mind doing the hard work, but I need it to reflect somewhere. So I didn't want to have to get into it like that with y'all, but I did see a lot of people that had a problem with it. And I'm not trying to make people upset. I'm still trying to give you the content, but it's gonna have to come a different way, okay? And maybe on times when I can make a longer video, like when I am at home and things like that, then we'll do that. But you know, I just need everybody to get on the same page, bitch. It's hot. Personal summer uploading. Woo, shit, y'all. I'm at Kaiser right now. I gotta go in here and do some shit. I'm telling you. We'll talk about it more on Thursday. But anyway, that's it. That's all. I didn't mean to talk about that long, but I gotta get off of here, you guys. All right, you guys, let me get off of here running Kaiser real fast and then get on back to work. Okay, we do this every single week. Well, we do this on Tuesday and Friday right now. Okay, so make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.